The Earth was quiet. For centuries, humans lived unaware of the forces lying deep beneath their feet. Cities bustled, machines hummed, and life carried on as usual. Yet, under the surface, something ancient was stirring, a power older than humanity itself. In a hidden laboratory beneath the Rockies, Dr. Elena Carter adjusted the sensors. She had dedicated her life to studying the strange seismic readings coming from deep underground. The numbers didn't make sense. The movements weren't natural. They were patterns, almost like a heartbeat. "Dr. Carter," her assistant whispered, pointing at the monitor, "look at this. The energy spike, it's growing." Elena's eyes widened. She had seen energy pulses before, minor anomalies. But this was different. The readings were unlike anything recorded in human history. The pulse was spreading. It was alive. Meanwhile, across the globe, similar events were happening. Volcanoes rumbled, not violently but with a strange rhythm. Oceans shimmered with unexplained lights at night. Birds and animals seemed restless, as if sensing the Earth's awakening. No one could explain it. Governments were puzzled. Scientists debated theories. But only a few understood that Earth itself was evolving. It was as if the planet had been waiting, silently, for the right moment to reveal its true potential. Then it happened. A massive pulse of energy erupted from deep inside the Earth. It shot through the planet like lightning, traveling beneath continents, oceans, and mountains. The pulse reached the atmosphere, creating auroras in places that had never seen them before, green, violet, and gold waves dancing across the skies. People across the world stopped and stared in awe, pointing at the colors above. At the same time, humans began to notice changes in themselves. Intuition sharpened. Minds became clearer. Some people could solve problems in seconds that had previously taken hours. Others felt stronger, faster, more alert. Children laughed at things adults didn't understand. The Earth had given humanity a gift: knowledge, power, and awareness beyond imagination. In the laboratories, Elena and her team realized that the energy pulse wasn't just a natural phenomenon. It was a signal. Something had awakened in the Earth, and it was reaching out to humanity. Machines they had built began to respond to the energy. Computers processed data faster. Robots moved with almost human-like intelligence. Humans could feel the machines understanding them. Elena couldn't believe her eyes. It's like the planet itself is teaching us," she whispered. Meanwhile, satellites in orbit detected strange patterns in the energy field surrounding Earth. The readings were precise, almost mathematical. And then, from the darkness of space, eyes watched. Alien civilizations, spread across countless star systems, had been monitoring Earth for centuries. To them, humans had always seemed weak, insignificant, and primitive. But the sudden surge of energy changed everything. They observed, confused and concerned, as Earth transformed into something far beyond a simple planet. Back on Earth, humanity didn't immediately know how to respond. Governments were cautious, militaries on alert, scientists fascinated. But slowly, understanding grew. The energy wasn't dangerous, it was empowering. Humanity had a choice: ignore it or embrace it. Those who embraced it found themselves capable of incredible things. Engineers built ships that could travel faster than light. Doctors cured diseases that had plagued humans for centuries. Thinkers developed ideas that changed society overnight. Humanity's potential, once limited by biology and technology, expanded beyond imagination. And yet, not everyone was ready. Fear spread among some groups. They saw the energy as a threat, a danger that could destroy life on Earth. But history had shown that humans feared the unknown, and then learned to master it. The same would happen again. By the end of the first month, humanity had achieved what once seemed impossible. Cities became smarter. Transportation faster. Communication instant. And above all, humans began to realize that they were no longer just inhabitants of Earth. They were its protectors, its champions, its chosen force. Then came the first human-made ship powered entirely by the Earth's energy. It was small, but it symbolized a turning point. For the first time, humans could leave their planet not because they wanted to escape, but because they were ready to explore, ready to face the stars. Elena stood on the observation deck, watching the ship lift off. The world had changed, and humanity had changed with it. She whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." And it was. Unseen by humans, the alien watchers grew alarmed. Their instruments detected the Earth's energy spreading outward. They could feel it like a heartbeat echoing through the void of space. Planets that had been stable for millennia now experienced strange fluctuations. The message was clear: Earth was no longer ordinary. Humanity was no longer ordinary. For the first time in galactic history, a small blue planet, once considered insignificant, had awakened. Its people were no longer just survivors, they were becoming leaders. Back on Earth, life continued but nothing was the same. People worked together with new understanding, shared knowledge, and mutual respect. Wars over resources became rare. Humans learned to listen, to think, to create. And with every passing day, the Earth's energy made them stronger, smarter, and more capable. The awakening had begun quietly, but its effects would soon echo across the stars. Humanity was ready to claim its place in the galaxy, not with aggression but with courage, intelligence, and determination. And somewhere beyond the farthest stars, alien civilizations began to take notice. The age of Earth had begun. The first chapter of humanity's true story was complete. The world had awakened, and humanity would never be the same again. The humans of Earth had changed. In just a few months, the energy pulse from beneath the planet had transformed their world. Cities sparkled with new technology, and machines moved as if they understood their operators. But humanity's gaze had shifted upward. The stars, once distant and mysterious, now felt within reach. At the newly constructed orbital command station, Captain Arjun Malik watched the vast blackness of space. Ships powered by Earth's energy pulsed gently in the docking bays, ready to journey into the unknown. Humanity had finally built ships that could leave the solar system, and not just travel but travel faster than any human could have imagined. "Captain," Lieutenant Rena Voss said, pointing at the screens, "we've detected something. A vessel approaching from outside the solar system." Arjun leaned closer. The readings were clear. It wasn't human. The shape, the energy signature, it was alien. Humanity had taken its first steps into the stars, and the stars had noticed. The alien ship glided silently, like a shadow moving through space. Its surface shimmered in colors that no human eye had names for, reflecting the distant starlight. The vessel was enormous, far larger than any human-made structure, and it radiated power. "Prepare communication," Arjun ordered. "We need to make contact." Inside the alien ship, a council of beings observed Earth. They were tall, thin, with limbs that seemed almost transparent. Their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the energy of the ship. One of them, a leader, hissed in their language, "The planet stirs. The humans, they are awakening." For centuries they had watched Earth, waiting for signs of intelligence. They had seen humans hunt, build, and explore but always believed them primitive. Now something had changed. The energy pulse had unlocked abilities the aliens could barely comprehend. Back on Earth, the first message was sent. It was simple but deliberate: "We come in peace. We are humans of Earth." The alien vessel paused. It wasn't used to greetings. Most species only spoke in threats or commands. Curiosity stirred among the council. One of them, the youngest, whispered, "Perhaps we underestimated them." The communication continued. Humans tried to explain their intentions. They did not seek war, but they were not afraid to defend themselves. The aliens responded with questions, their language strange, but their curiosity unmistakable. Weeks passed as humans and aliens exchanged signals, images, and concepts. Earth sent knowledge of its culture, science, and technology. The aliens shared some of their own, though cautiously. Humans marveled at the alien understanding of energy, matter, and the universe. During this period, some humans grew anxious. "What if they attack?" asked a young scientist, Dr. Naomi Lee. "They are so powerful and we are still learning." Arjun replied, "Strength is not only about weapons. We have knowledge, creativity, and courage. If we show them that, they will respect us, or at least they will hesitate before challenging us." And hesitation mattered. One day, a small fleet of alien scouts entered the solar system near Mars. They tested Earth's defenses subtly, firing energy pulses at empty regions of space. The humans watched carefully, studying the ship's speed, tactics, and patterns. Then, when the aliens tried to intimidate with a display of force, humans responded. A single Earth ship, powered entirely by the planet's energy, moved faster than the alien vessels. It emitted a bright pulse that forced the alien fleet to retreat. No human was harmed and no alien ships were destroyed, but the message was clear: Earth would defend itself. The aliens were astonished. Their advanced ships had never been matched like this. They realized that the energy from Earth had made humans unpredictable and clever. For the first time they felt cautious. Over time, the first real meeting occurred. The aliens sent a vessel to orbit Earth, and a small delegation of humans traveled to meet them. The human team wore specially designed suits that could interact with the alien environment. Arjun led the group, standing tall and confident before the alien council. The aliens examined them carefully. They noted the humans' expressions, gestures, and communication. The humans did not tremble, did not beg. They simply stood firm, showing respect but also strength. After hours of silent observation, the lead alien spoke. Its voice was a soft hum, almost musical. "You are different. Stronger than we expected. Your species has potential." Arjun bowed slightly. "We seek understanding, not conflict. But we will defend our home." The aliens were impressed. They had monitored countless worlds, and most would have fled or surrendered immediately under their gaze. Yet here stood humans, calm, intelligent, and unafraid. The first contact ended not in war but in mutual curiosity. Humans returned to Earth with stories of the aliens' technology, culture, and wisdom. They shared what they had learned with scientists and engineers, who eagerly applied the knowledge to further advance human civilization. But the universe had changed. The awakening of Earth did not go unnoticed. Other alien species, watching from the edges of the galaxy, began to reconsider their assumptions. The humans were no longer weak. They were clever, adaptable, and, as the aliens had said, strong. As night fell over Earth, people looked up at the stars and wondered. The sky seemed brighter, more alive, as if responding to the humans below. Humanity had made its first contact, and the universe had taken notice. For Arjun and his crew, the journey was only beginning. The first meeting had shown them that humanity was no longer just a planet-bound species. They had a place among the stars. And one thing was certain: any who underestimated humans would soon regret it. The awakening had started on Earth, but now it was spreading to the galaxy. Humanity's story was no longer hidden. It was written across the heavens, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. And somewhere, far beyond the reaches of human vision, alien eyes continued to watch. They knew the humans of Earth were different. They had power, courage, and an unshakable will. The galaxy had been warned, humans had arrived. Rising tensions. After the first contact, humanity's name began to travel among the stars. Alien civilizations that had once ignored Earth now whispered about the small blue planet with curiosity and fear. The energy that had awakened humans was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It made humans clever, fast, and unpredictable. Back on Earth, life had changed dramatically. Cities were brighter, faster, and smarter. Human technology was advancing at a speed no one thought possible. Ships capable of exploring distant star systems were being constructed daily, and scientists were learning to harness the Earth's energy in new ways. Humanity was growing stronger, and not quietly. Meanwhile, in the outer reaches of the galaxy, alien leaders gathered. They communicated through enormous holographic networks that spanned light years. Some species wanted to attack Earth immediately. They feared what humans could become if left unchecked. Others counseled caution. They had seen civilizations destroyed because they underestimated the planet that humans called home. One leader, a tall, armored alien known as Carvex, spoke with a deep, rumbling voice. "The humans are dangerous. They have no history of war beyond their world, but this energy, it makes them unpredictable. If we wait, they will surpass us all." Another, a smaller, silver-skinned alien named Lyra, responded, "We should send envoys. Observe them. Test their limits. They may yet be reasoned with." The debate continued for days. Some wanted fleets of warships to approach Earth, to remind humans of their place. Others feared that a single misstep could awaken Earth's true strength, and none of them wanted to learn that lesson the hard way. On Earth, Captain Arjun Malik watched the skies again. The first contact had been peaceful, but the humans could feel the tension in the universe. Ships from distant star systems now appeared on the edge of the solar system, scanning, observing, and measuring. Humanity had grown, and so had the attention of the galaxy. "Sir," Lieutenant Rena Voss said, pointing at a holographic display, "we have multiple alien fleets approaching. They are not attacking, yet. But they are very close." Arjun frowned. "They are testing us. They want to see if we are ready." The humans responded with caution. They did not strike first. Instead, they sent messages of peace, of curiosity, and of respect. But they also prepared defenses. Ships were placed in strategic positions, energy shields were strengthened, and human pilots trained tirelessly. Weeks passed and the tension grew. Some alien species attempted subtle intimidation. Energy pulses, strange lights in space, and unusual signals tested the humans' reactions. But every time humanity responded intelligently. They analyzed patterns, predicted movements, and demonstrated strategy that even the aliens had not expected. The galaxy began to notice something unusual. The humans were not the weak, primitive species many had assumed. They were clever, disciplined, and resourceful. Their unpredictability made them dangerous but also admirable. Even within Earth, humans debated what to do next. Some leaders argued for expansion, for showing the galaxy their strength. Others warned that too much power could provoke unnecessary conflict. Captain Arjun addressed the Council of Earth's leaders. "We are not seeking war. But we cannot hide our strength. Every species in the galaxy will soon know that Earth is awake. We must be ready to defend ourselves, to protect our people, and to ensure that the knowledge and power we have gained are used wisely." As the humans prepared, alien fleets began to move in formation, slowly encircling the solar system. They were careful, measured, avoiding direct confrontation. But their presence was undeniable. Humanity could feel the tension, like a storm hanging over the world. Then came the first provocation. One of the alien scouts fired a warning pulse near Jupiter, testing Earth's defense systems. The human response was precise. A single Earth ship, powered by the planet's energy, moved faster than the alien vessel and neutralized the pulse without damage. The aliens were stunned. In distant star systems, whispers spread among civilizations. The humans of Earth were cleverer than predicted. They did not attack recklessly, but they could defend themselves with precision and speed no one had imagined. The small blue planet was no longer just another world, it was a rising power. Inside the alien council, arguments intensified. Some wanted to strike immediately, believing hesitation would allow Earth to grow stronger. Others suggested patience. Lyra, the silver-skinned alien, argued, "We cannot destroy them now. If we do, we risk awakening even greater power. Let us observe. Let us test their character." The humans, meanwhile, continued to explore space, careful but unafraid. They sent envoys to nearby star systems, sharing knowledge, offering alliances, and demonstrating the wisdom they had gained from the Earth's energy. Slowly, some alien species began to admire humanity. They were strange, unpredictable, and bold, but they were also clever and fair. However, not all were impressed. Carvex, the armored alien leader, saw the humans as a threat that could not be ignored. "If we wait, they will surpass every species we know. If we strike, we risk war, but if we do nothing, we will be crushed in time. The humans cannot be ignored." The tension reached its peak when a massive fleet of alien ships gathered on the edge of the solar system. Earth watched silently. Humanity did not panic. Instead, they prepared, strengthened defenses, and continued learning. They had the energy of the Earth itself on their side, a power the galaxy could not yet understand. Captain Arjun Malik stood on the observation deck of the flagship, staring into the dark void of space. "They are testing us," he said quietly. "But we are ready. They will see that humans are not weak. We are clever. We are strong. And we will protect our home no matter the cost." The humans knew one thing for certain. The galaxy had taken notice. Every species that had once ignored Earth now watched carefully, debating whether to approach, attack, or ally with the rising power. The stage was set for a struggle not of brute force, but of strategy, intelligence, and courage. As night fell over Earth, the stars seemed closer than ever before. The tension in the galaxy was palpable. Humans had awakened and the universe had noticed. But the true test was only beginning. The small blue planet, once overlooked, was now at the center of attention. The humans of Earth would face challenges, tests, and threats beyond anything they had imagined. But they had one advantage the galaxy could not ignore. They were united, clever, and driven by a determination unlike any other species had ever seen. And somewhere far beyond the edge of known space, alien leaders continued to debate, wondering how far the humans would go. They feared the power of Earth, but they also respected it. For the first time, the galaxy realized, humans were not just inhabitants of a planet, they were a rising force that could change the balance of the stars. The rising tensions had begun, and humanity's journey among the stars was about to grow even more dangerous, and more extraordinary. The wrath unleashed. The galaxy had watched. For months, alien civilizations had observed humanity quietly, testing, questioning, and fearing. The humans of Earth had proven clever, strong, and unpredictable. But now, the universe was about to see the true extent of their power. It began with a warning. A fleet of alien warships entered the solar system near Mars, moving aggressively. Their size and weapons were far beyond anything humans had seen before. These were no scouts, this was a full-scale strike. On Earth, alarms blared across cities and command centers. Citizens paused in fear, unsure what was about to happen. But for Captain Arjun Malik and the crews of Earth's energy-powered ships, there was no fear. They had prepared for this moment. Humanity had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. "Red alert," Arjun ordered. All ships to battle stations. Prepare to defend Earth. The alien fleet fired first. Pulses of energy streaked through space toward the approaching human ships. But the humans did not panic. Using the energy flowing from their planet, they activated shields and countermeasures that deflected every strike. The alien commander's confidence began to falter. They had underestimated humans again. Then humanity struck back. Not recklessly but strategically. One by one, human ships moved in perfect formation surrounding the alien fleet. Using tactics the aliens could not predict, they neutralized weapons, disrupted communications, and immobilized the enemy without destroying them. Humanity did not seek unnecessary death. They sought control, precision, and dominance. The aliens realized too late that they had misjudged Earth. Every move humans made was calculated, fast, and deadly. The energy from Earth gave them power, speed, and intelligence that no alien fleet could match. Within hours, what had seemed like an unstoppable armada was in chaos, forced to retreat. From orbit, Arjun watched the battlefield. The humans had won without unnecessary slaughter. "We have shown them," he said to his crew, "that Earth cannot be challenged, and that we will defend our home." The victory spread across the stars like wildfire. Other civilizations, previously hesitant, now whispered fearfully about humanity's true strength. They realized that Earth was not only clever but unstoppable when provoked. But the humans did not rest on their victory. They understood that power was only valuable if used wisely. Ships returned to Earth, and scientists worked to study the captured alien technology. Every battle provided lessons. Every encounter made them stronger, faster, and smarter. Meanwhile, the Alien Council convened urgently. Carvex, the armored warlord, slammed his clawed hand against the table. "We underestimated them. Every calculation was wrong. They are faster, smarter, and more dangerous than we ever imagined." Lyra, the silver-skinned diplomat, spoke calmly. "This is what we feared. Their power is not just physical. It is intelligence, strategy, and courage. We cannot fight them with force alone. If we act rashly, we risk total defeat." Back on Earth, humanity began to realize the scale of their awakening. The energy pulse that had transformed their planet was now their greatest weapon, and their greatest responsibility. Leaders met to discuss the next steps. Diplomacy would be necessary, but so would preparation for further challenges. The galaxy was watching, and Earth had to be ready. Then came the first Allied approach. Some alien species, impressed by humanity's precision and discipline, sent envoys with offers of cooperation. They recognized Earth not as a threat to destroy, but as a force to respect. Humanity welcomed these allies cautiously, knowing trust had to be earned. Yet not all were willing to yield. Other civilizations continued to harbor fear and resentment. They prepared their fleets, rebuilt defenses, and plotted ways to counter humanity's growing influence. The universe had become a chessboard, and Earth was emerging as the most unpredictable piece. Captain Arjun oversaw every operation personally. He coordinated the fleets, trained pilots, and studied enemy movements. Every decision was calculated to maximize human advantage while minimizing unnecessary loss. Humanity's strength was in intelligence, creativity, and courage, not reckless destruction. The wrath of Earth was not mindless rage, it was precise, unstoppable, and efficient. When humans acted, they left no doubt. The message was clear: challenge Earth and face consequences beyond imagination. But those who sought peace, understanding, and cooperation found allies in humans. Across the galaxy, civilizations whispered stories of Earth's power. Some feared humanity. Others admired them. And everywhere, leaders recalculated strategies, knowing that the rise of humans had changed the balance of the stars forever. On Earth, people continued their daily lives, unaware of the legends forming in distant star systems. Cities glowed with energy, machines moved with intelligence, and humans trained, explored, and learned. Humanity had awakened, but they remained grounded, wise enough to know that power without wisdom could destroy even the strongest species. Weeks after the first battle, a massive communication signal arrived from deep space. The message was simple but unmistakable: "Humans of Earth, we acknowledge your strength. We will approach with caution. We seek dialogue." Arjun and the Council knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen Earth's wrath, but the story was far from over. Humanity had proven its strength, but challenges remained. Every species that had ever doubted humans now understood one truth: Earth would not be ignored. And as night fell over the planet, people gazed at the stars, feeling a quiet pride. The small blue world, once overlooked and underestimated, had awakened. Its people had defended it with intelligence, courage, and honor. The wrath of Earth had been unleashed, but it was not anger that fueled humans. It was determination, unity, and the desire to protect their home. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would not forget. Underestimate humanity at your own risk. From the depths of space, alien eyes continued to watch. Some planned carefully, others whispered fearfully, but all knew that the humans of Earth had become a force unlike any other. A new chapter was beginning, and the stars themselves seemed to hum with the anticipation of what humans would do next. The universe had changed. Earth had awakened fully. And humanity's wrath had only just begun. Civilizations fall. The galaxy had felt the power of Earth. The wrath unleashed by humanity had sent a clear message. The humans of this small blue planet were no longer to be underestimated. Now the ripple of fear and respect began to spread, and civilizations that once ignored Earth started to reconsider their positions. It began at the edges of the galaxy. A system ruled by the warlike species of Krathalon refused to bow to the humans' growing influence. They sent fleets toward Earth, believing they could intimidate the primitive humans. But the humans had learned their lessons. The fleet, though large and heavily armed, met an organized, precise response. Ships powered by Earth's energy moved faster than light, outmaneuvering the alien vessels. Every strike was calculated, every move predictable only to humans, and the Krathalon forces were forced to retreat, or face annihilation. The news spread like wildfire. The Krathalon had been proud and feared by countless civilizations. If Earth had defeated them, what chance did anyone else have? Across the galaxy, leaders began to take notice. Alliances formed cautiously, previously neutral species reconsidered their strategies. On Earth, the Council of Leaders observed the galaxy with careful attention. They did not seek destruction, but they understood the importance of demonstrating strength. Humans had awakened as protectors of their home, but the universe now demanded more. Earth had to prove it could lead, guide, and, when necessary, enforce its influence. Captain Arjun Malik stood on the bridge of the flagship, watching the tactical displays. "Every species that opposes us," he said quietly, "will be met with precision. We do not seek to destroy unnecessarily, but we will not be ignored." The first civilizations to fall were those who relied solely on fear and brute force. Entire fleets surrendered without battle when human ships arrived. They had witnessed Earth's intelligence, strategy, and discipline, and they knew resistance was pointless. Some civilizations tried rebellion. They sent their strongest warships, believing they could overpower humans with numbers. But they were misjudging humanity again. The Earth fleet did not rush blindly. It moved with calculated speed, isolating enemy ships and neutralizing them one by one. Energy pulses disrupted engines, communications were jammed, and fleets fell into chaos before a single human vessel was lost. The galaxy began to whisper. "Humans are unlike any species we know," said one alien envoy. "They do not strike blindly. They are precise, intelligent, and ruthless when necessary. To resist them is to invite destruction." Yet even in victory humanity acted differently. Civilizations that surrendered were treated with respect. Humans offered guidance, technology, and strategies to help rebuild. They didn't conquer for greed, they offered leadership for cooperation. Loyalty replaced fear. Allies grew where enemies had once stood. One such civilization, the Lyrans, had resisted at first. Their ships were fast and their tactics clever, but Earth's precision was unmatched. After defeat, instead of punishment, humans extended a hand. They shared knowledge of advanced energy systems, strategies for resource management, and diplomatic guidance. The Lyrans soon became some of Earth's most loyal allies. In the Orion cluster, a council of alien leaders debated what to do. "The humans are clever," said Carvex, the armored warlord. "They do not destroy indiscriminately, yet they can obliterate our fleets. We cannot fight them with traditional methods." Another alien, Lyra, added, "Resistance is futile. Their strategy is unmatched. They are building loyalty, not fear, and that makes them stronger than any force we could assemble." Back on Earth, the people did not celebrate war. Their pride came from defending their home, learning from each encounter, and proving that humans were capable of extraordinary things. Schools taught young humans about galactic diplomacy, technology, and the importance of intelligence and creativity. Earth was preparing not just to fight but to lead. By the time 6 months had passed since the first major engagement, several civilizations had fallen or allied willingly. Systems that had once dominated regions of the galaxy now acknowledged humanity's authority. Ships flew Earth's insignia, and envoys traveled freely to share knowledge and maintain cooperation. Yet the humans remained vigilant. They knew that power brings challenges. Not every species would bow easily, and not every conflict could be solved with diplomacy. But Earth's strategy was clear: show strength, offer guidance, build loyalty, and always stay unpredictable. Captain Arjun Malik reflected on the journey so far. Humanity had faced fleets that dwarfed their own, challenges that seemed impossible, and threats that could have destroyed them. Yet humans had prevailed not because of sheer force but because of intelligence, creativity, and courage. "We are not gods," he said to his crew. "We are humans. But we are united, clever, and determined. That is what makes us unstoppable." Across the galaxy, civilizations whispered in awe and fear. Stories of Earth's precision, discipline, and leadership spread faster than fleets ever could. Some species feared future encounters, while others sought friendship. Everywhere one truth was clear: humans had changed the balance of power. As humans continued to expand their influence, one message became increasingly obvious. The galaxy was no longer a place of chaos and domination by old empires. It was becoming a place shaped by intelligence, strategy, and the rising force of humanity. And on Earth, life continued as usual. Citizens went about their daily lives, unaware of the legends forming in distant star systems. Yet the people who had felt the awakening, the energy beneath their planet, knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven it could rise above fear, master new power, and lead wisely. Civilizations were falling, alliances were forming, and the stars themselves seemed to recognize the new order emerging. The humans of Earth had awakened fully, and the universe was beginning to bow, not out of fear alone, but out of respect for their strength, intelligence, and courage. The galaxy had learned one unshakable truth: underestimate humanity and it would not merely defend, it would rise, adapt, and conquer the challenges ahead. Humanity's story was no longer confined to a single planet. It was being written across the stars. Civilizations were falling, yes, but from their fall, a new era of cooperation, loyalty, and recognition of Earth's power was emerging. The blue planet had awakened, and humanity's rise among the stars had only just begun. A new galactic order. The galaxy was changing. The humans of Earth had risen from a small, overlooked planet to a power no one could ignore. Civilizations that had once mocked or feared them now respected, and in many cases followed the humans' lead. On Earth, life had never been more vibrant. Cities gleamed with energy harnessed from the planet itself. Machines moved with intelligence, almost as if they could think. Humans traveled freely among the stars, exploring new systems, learning from alien civilizations, and sharing the wisdom of their planet. Captain Arjun Malik stood on the bridge of the flagship, observing the stars. Ships from allied civilizations glided alongside human fleets. These civilizations had learned to trust humans not through fear, but through respect. The humans had proven that intelligence, strategy, and honor could command loyalty more powerfully than weapons alone. "Look at them," Arjun said quietly to Lieutenant Rina Voss, pointing at the fleets moving in formation. "They follow because they choose to, not because they are forced." Rina nodded. "That is what makes us different. Other species fight through fear. We lead through wisdom and courage." Across the galaxy, alien councils debated the new reality. Some still feared humans while others admired them. Lyra, the silver-skinned diplomat, spoke at a council assembly: "Humanity does not conquer blindly. They teach, guide, and protect. Their rise is not one of destruction, it is one of order, and it is remarkable." Even Carvex, once the warlord of a mighty empire, had grown cautious. He had witnessed firsthand the humans' precision, strategy, and mercy. "We cannot underestimate them," he admitted. "They do not destroy for power alone. They build loyalty, they guide, and they adapt. We must change the way we see them." Earth had become the center of a new galactic network, a council of planets, species, and civilizations that shared knowledge, technology, and strategy. Human scientists worked alongside alien engineers to develop faster-than-light travel, energy systems, and medical advancements that benefited countless species. But this new order was not built without challenges. Some civilizations resisted the humans' influence, refusing alliances or guidance. These rebellions were brief, however. Humans did not attack recklessly. Instead, they used strategy and intelligence to demonstrate their power. In most cases, resistance ended in negotiation, compromise, or mutual respect. The galaxy had begun to see a pattern. Earth acted not out of ambition alone, but out of responsibility. Humans sought to protect, to guide, and to ensure that the knowledge and power now available to them were used wisely. Other species began to understand that humans were not conquerors, They were leaders. On the flagship, Arjun met with the Council of Earth's leaders. Discussions focused not only on defense but also on diplomacy. They planned how to maintain peace across systems, how to prevent conflict, and how to guide civilizations toward cooperation and stability. We have the power to shape the galaxy, Arjun said. But we must use it wisely. Strength alone is not enough. Strategy, wisdom, and courage will define our legacy. Humans traveled to distant star systems, sharing the Earth's technology and knowledge. They built alliances with species that had once been enemies, and they strengthened bonds with those who had already joined them. Slowly but surely, a new galactic order was emerging, one where intelligence, strategy, and cooperation were more powerful than fear or force. Even among the humans themselves, this new order brought change. Governments became more collaborative, scientific exploration expanded, and education focused on preparing the next generation for leadership in a galaxy that now watched them closely. Humanity was united, not by fear of enemies, but by pride, purpose, and understanding of their responsibility. In distant star systems, alien species whispered about Earth's influence. They told stories of the humans who had defeated fleets larger and stronger than their own, yet offered mercy and guidance instead of vengeance. These stories spread hope, fear, and admiration in equal measure. Humanity had become a symbol, a force that reminded the galaxy that power could be combined with intelligence, courage, and wisdom. Where empires had once ruled through oppression, humans now ruled through influence, inspiration, and example. The galaxy itself seemed to respond to this change. Star systems that had been chaotic for centuries began to stabilize under the guidance of humans and their allies. Trade flourished, communication expanded, and knowledge flowed freely. Even the stars seemed brighter, as if acknowledging the rise of a new order. Yet humans remained humble. They had power, yes, but they did not seek glory for its own sake. They understood that the galaxy was vast, filled with mysteries, challenges, and unknown dangers. The new order was fragile, and it required constant vigilance, intelligence, and cooperation. Captain Arjun stood once more on the bridge looking at the stars. "We have achieved much," he said, "but our work is not done. The galaxy is watching, learning, and changing. We must continue to lead with wisdom, courage, and strategy. That is the true path to greatness." And so, a new era began. Earth was no longer a small, overlooked planet. It had awakened, risen, and claimed its place among the stars. Civilizations that had once been powerful now worked alongside humans. The galaxy had learned to respect and trust them, not out of fear but because humanity had earned it. For the humans of Earth, this was only the beginning. They had proven that intelligence, strategy, and courage could change the fate of worlds. They had shown that even a small planet could influence the galaxy, not through conquest but through wisdom and unity. The new galactic order had begun. Humanity was at its center, not as rulers by fear but as leaders by example. And across the stars, every species, every system, and every civilization began to adjust to the reality. Earth had awakened and humanity's influence would shape the galaxy for generations to come. The humans of Earth had risen and the galaxy would never be the same. Legacy of humanity. The galaxy had changed. Humanity had risen from a small, overlooked planet to the center of a new era. Civilizations that once dismissed Earth now spoke of its people with respect, admiration, and sometimes fear. But humanity's true victory was not in destruction or conquest. It was in the legacy they were creating. On Earth, children looked up at the stars with wonder. Schools taught them about distant civilizations, alien languages, and the vast energy that flowed beneath their planet. They learned about courage, intelligence, and strategy, the values that had allowed humans to rise among the stars. The planet itself seemed alive, glowing faintly at night, reminding its people of the awakening that had changed everything. Captain Arjun Malik stood on the bridge of the flagship one last time before retiring from active duty. He watched the fleets moving among the stars, human ships and allied vessels in perfect harmony, maintaining peace, order, and protection across systems. "We've done more than defend our planet," Arjun said to Lieutenant Rina Voss. "We've shown the galaxy what humans can be. Courage, intelligence, unity, that is our true power." Rina smiled. "And the next generation will carry it forward. The story doesn't end here, it's just beginning." Humanity's influence stretched across countless star systems. Fleets patrolled trade routes to ensure safety. Scientists and engineers collaborated with alien civilizations to advance technology and medicine. Diplomats worked tirelessly to maintain alliances and resolve conflicts peacefully. The humans of Earth had become not just survivors or warriors, but teachers, guides, and protectors. Far beyond the Milky Way, alien civilizations whispered of the humans' rise. Some feared them, others admired them, and all recognized one undeniable truth: Earth had awakened its people, and they had changed the galaxy forever. The Lyrans, once a defiant and warlike species, now worked closely with humans to develop energy systems that could stabilize entire star clusters. The Krathalon, once eager to fight, had learned to respect humanity's wisdom and precision. Even those who remained cautious understood that the humans of Earth were a force unlike any other. And yet, humanity remained humble. Leaders knew that power without wisdom could destroy even the strongest species. They taught younger generations that intelligence, courage, and honor were the true measure of strength, not fear or violence. Stories of Earth's rise spread across the stars. Tales of battles won with strategy, of civilizations guided rather than crushed, and of humans who combined courage with compassion inspired countless species. Across the galaxy, the human's legacy became a symbol of what a united, intelligent species could achieve. In distant star systems, alien children learned about humans in their schools, just as human children learned about distant worlds. They were told of the small blue planet that had awakened, of its people who had faced fear and hostility without losing sight of wisdom, strategy, and honor. On Earth itself, the planet continued to hum with energy. Its pulse had awakened humanity, and now it seemed to echo through the galaxy, a constant reminder of the bond between a people and their home. Scientists discovered new layers of energy, new ways to harness it for exploration, healing, and innovation. Humanity's knowledge grew, and with it, the potential for greatness. Captain Arjun Malik reflected on the journey that had brought them here. Humanity had faced fleets that dwarfed their own, civilizations that underestimated them, and challenges that seemed impossible. Yet they had triumphed, not through mindless force but through intelligence, strategy, and courage. Every species we met has learned from us, Arjun said quietly. Some by fear, some by respect, but all have learned. That is our legacy. And then came the final message from the farthest reaches of known space. It was simple yet profound: the humans of Earth have awakened. Their wisdom, courage, and intelligence shaped the galaxy. We recognize their place among the stars. It was a message of acknowledgement from countless civilizations, a recognition that humanity had not only survived but had risen to lead, to teach, and to inspire. As night fell over Earth, humans gazed at the stars, feeling a quiet pride and responsibility. The galaxy was vast, filled with mysteries and challenges, but humanity had proven it could face them. Their legacy was not in conquest alone, but in leadership, wisdom, and unity. Across the stars, alien eyes watched the humans with newfound respect. They understood that Earth's people were different, clever, courageous, and unyielding in their pursuit of growth and knowledge. The galaxy had learned that humanity was not a threat to be crushed but a power to be respected, and perhaps, a guide to a new era. Humanity's story was no longer confined to a single planet. It had spread across systems, inspiring cooperation, innovation, and hope. Civilizations once at odds were now united under a shared vision of stability and progress, guided by the intelligence and courage of humans. The humans of Earth had risen, and their influence would endure for generations. Children on distant worlds would learn about the planet that awakened its people, the battles fought with intelligence, and the alliances forged through wisdom. They would tell stories of courage, strategy, and honor, stories that began with the simple awakening of a planet and grew into a legacy across the stars. And on Earth, life continued as it always had, yet nothing was the same. Humans had faced the galaxy and emerged not only victorious but respected. They had proven that unity, intelligence, and courage were stronger than fear or brute force. Their legacy was set in motion, a legacy that would shape the stars forever. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of humanity. Civilizations had fallen, alliances had been forged, and a new era had begun. And throughout it all, the humans of Earth remained steadfast, humble, and ever curious, knowing that their journey among the stars had only just begun. The awakening had changed everything. Humanity had not only survived but had risen to greatness. Their legacy was clear: courage, intelligence, and unity could shape worlds, guide civilizations, and leave a mark across the galaxy. The humans of Earth looked to the stars, ready for the future, knowing that their story, the story of a small planet that awakened its people, would echo across the universe for generations to come.